Cammie, who you'll hear from in a little bit, actually brought up the idea, and I was like, you know what? I think a lot of people need to hear like this type of Zoom. I know that there was points in my business where I needed to hear this stuff. And so we are excited to just pour into you, but just be prepared to take some heat, because tonight is going to be a no BS Zoom. It's not going to be one of those Zooms that's going to make you like, you're going to hop off, you're going to feel so good. What is going to probably have happen is you're going to hop off and you're going to feel like you need to do some self-evaluation. And that's the point of this Zoom. And so we want you tonight to be honest with yourselves. We want you to be honest with yourself for the future of your business, right? Because you can't improve what you don't acknowledge is there. You can't change something that you don't acknowledge is broken, right? And so it's not that any of you guys are broken people. It's just sometimes, number one, you either need to refill the gas tank or you need to get the oil changed. And so we're going to figure out what's going on, and hopefully you can relate. We're going to kind of host this in a different way. It's just going to kind of be a chat between all of us. There's 5 of us on here. It's Sheyenne, who you know, Nicole, me, Morgan, and Cammie. I'm going to actually let Cammie start and kick off with her story real quick, because I know a lot of you guys maybe haven't heard from her yet, and share how she got to the top, went triple in less than a year. And just all the tips that she has, because I am just excited for you guys to hear from all the wisdom that she's gained in such a short period of time. So where are you at, Cammie? Can you unmute yourself?
I'm right here.
Oh, cool. Okay. What up? So yeah, just share a little bit about why you got started, but like what your journey has been like.
Okay, cool. Hi guys, my name is Cammie. I'm so excited to be on with you guys and just talk to you guys and bring a lot of heat that I know all of us are just ready for. I know all of us we're ready for 2020. So a year ago, I decided to join this crazy company after seeing Kelsey for months. Okay, I ghosted her, would not reply to her. I was a full-time nursing student and I was working full-time at a hospital. Found out I didn't get into nursing school because I didn't attend their school. So I was done being stuck, really. I was taking home $1,600 a month at that. And as somebody, I mean, I was only 21, but I couldn't live off of that. And I was just ready to get my life in order. And so reached out to Kelsey. Long story short, month in the business, we hit Ruby. And then I actually lost rank the next month, okay? So I love to share that with you guys because it wasn't like this crazy uphill battle that just never stopped, okay? I lost rank right after hitting Ruby. And then I had to get it back. So I went to my first conference last year. I put my account in the negative to go to conference, stayed in Kelsey's room, didn't know anybody other than Kelsey when I was going to this conference, met everybody there, and had just
pause. I want you to do this real quick. Y'all, she put her account in the negative to get to conference. Okay. Now, I'm not suggesting any of you guys do that. I did not tell her to do that. I did tell her to get to conference, but like she was like a couple days into the business. So if you guys believe in conference, you need to tell your people to get to conference if they're 2 days in or they're 2 years in. Okay. There's no excuse, because you'll make a way, you guys. You can make this so cheap. Like people are getting hotel rooms and you can pay $150 for 4 days, 3 days. And so just figure out a way to make it work. This is a shameless conference plug because you will hear almost every single person that is successful. They had a shift in their income, a shift in their mindset that happened immediately after attending something like conference. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so month and a half after being in the business, went Ruby, lost it, and then went to conference. So I was at conference, barely maintaining Ruby. I had just gotten back my rank that month. Like I said, yeah, put my account in the negative to go there. I wasn't expecting it, but it happened, and yeah. So a lot just changed at conference. I got to meet people, I got to talk to people, and I just grew this version of myself in my head that I never thought I could be. But after conference, it made me believe that I could be that person. And came home in February and skipped Emerald and went straight to Diamond. March went double diamond, and then went triple diamond in May. And now we're pushing for presidential diamond for the next few months. And the biggest thing and why I'm so passionate about this is because.
Can you repeat that again for the people in the back who missed it? Go ahead.
Okay, so like my how long?
You were Ruby at conference. By the end of February, you went from being from January, you were paid as Ruby. End of February, paid as diamond. End of March, paid as double. End of April, end of May, paid as triple.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah,
I want that to sink into you guys who are number one, either not maintaining your rank and getting paid as a Ruby, or you just promoted to Ruby, or you just joined the business. Okay. Because an average income of a triple diamond is about $10,000 a month. Okay. And I'm here to tell you, Cammie's account was in the negative when she came to conference. Do you think by the end of May, her account was in the negative? If you had to guess, the answer is no. So what I want you to see is that it's an investment. People, when I say investment, sometimes I think that this word gets overused and it doesn't really resonate with a lot of you. But what I want you to understand is when you invest in like a stock in the stock market, what do? You put money in because you're expecting to get more money in return. You don't just say, oh, I think that stock's going to go up. Let me think about it and not do anything. No, what happens is you actually have to put the money in first. You have to put the money first and buy the stock in order for when it does go up, that you have a piece of it. Okay, so sometimes people are like, oh, yeah, it's investment. Do you even know what an investment is? Have you ever invested into anything in your life? Because if not, then you have to undergrasp this concept of putting in something first in order to get something back. Okay, this is not, well, I think, so I'm just going to say, oh, I bet on that, but you don't actually bet anything on it. Okay, and it's so important that that is crucial to how you view this business, because it's a business, you guys. This is not a job. This is a business. And so when you come to conference, you are investing in your business. When you run an auto shipment, you are investing in a business. Okay. So it's a simple concept, but one that not everybody understands. So I just wanted to make sure that is crystal clear. Okay. So every DT you signed between February and May worked, right? Every single person that you had on your chart, they worked. No, because if you were promoting, everybody had to work, right?
I had 5 people max working when we hit triple diamond.
Okay. I want you guys to hear that again. Repeat it.
5 people enrolling, okay? Enrolling. Yep. 5 max. But we were a new team. I had only been in the business 7 months. Me, okay? I didn't start really growing my team until February. Okay, so you have to think about that. From February to May, February, March, April, May, that is 4 months, but really 3 because the 4th month we were going triple. I had 3 months. Do you think that's a lot to put a bunch of new people in and say, hey, we're going triple diamond? No, not many people were working. Not many people were enrolling. People weren't seeing the vision. They're new. They don't know what they're doing. We've all been there. But I knew where I was going. I knew where I was taking my team, and I was ready to lead from the front. And I told myself I was ready to do the work and be the one that was doing the most. And that's the biggest thing that you have to get in your head, is you have to be willing to do the most out of everybody on your team.
100%. 100%. So
yeah.
I'm gonna give you guys some notes based on what she just said, because y'all want to just hear the story, but y'all want to take the notes from what she's actually giving you and applying it. So I'm about to give you some notes. You ready? What do your DTs need from you? If you're complaining about your team not working, what do your DTs need from you? Number 1, they need you to take authority. And what I mean by that is not telling them what to do, but you're telling them where they're going. And that means that you're saying, we're going triple, we're doing this. They need somebody to get to take the reins, because every single person, you guys, can steer the ship. It doesn't take somebody special to steer the ship, but what it takes, what's difference between a leader and somebody who's just at the front is a leader. Anybody can steer the ship, but what a leader does, and I wrote this down because I know I'd forget it, but what a leader does is chart the course. Let me repeat that. What a leader does is chart the course. somebody who is holding a rank that is not, they're just steering the ship. They're just trying to say, oh, okay, well, we'll go here. But what I mean by charting the course is not just saying, hey, we're going to go triple. Because how many of y'all have said you're going to hit a rank and didn't hit it? Drop a 1 in the comments. If y'all said you're going to hit a rank because it sounds good and because that's just what you're supposed to be doing, right? You're just supposed to be saying like, oh, I'm a Ruby now, so next I should just say I'm going Emerald. Let me just go ahead and send this text on the 1st to all my team and say, we're going. Okay, that's steering the ship. But what's charting a course? Getting every single person individually out there, taking authority and saying, hey, do you know the course? The answer is no, hint, hint, because they've never done it before. Do you know the course? Okay, great. Let me help you chart it. And that doesn't mean just chart. It means who is working on your team. Is anybody working? Okay, if not, here's the game plan. Giving them a game plan. And guess what? If you guys have no clue how to do this, if you have no clue how to do this, it's because you're not using the person that is in your upline. It's because you're not asking the questions. And I have to have conversations with myself on the daily, with my diamonds and above on the daily about swallowing your pride and understand that you will never know the answers to all the questions. You are always going to need to be asking questions. And if not, your income will go down. If you have stopped asking questions, that is a precursor to your income going down. Because if you only stick with what you know, you're only gonna get where you've gotten and lower. Okay. The second thing that she said is she took ownership of the vision. She didn't just take authority of it. She took ownership. She didn't say, oh, it's on you for you to be the one domino. And then if that domino hits, and that domino is gonna hit, and we're all gonna hit. But if one domino falls, then I guess it's not on me. Nope. What she said is, nope, if that domino doesn't hit, I'm about to restack it and I'm about to put somebody else there. Or I'm about to do something else, and I'm taking ownership because at the end of the day, this is my vision. And it's our vision that we're accomplishing as a team, but it's my vision that I'm leading. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking because this could get bad. And I could just talk for way too long. Okay, Nicole, I'm gonna bring you in on this because I feel like people know who you are. People feel like the dog down. You can just keep the dog up. It's cool. No, but I feel like sometimes it's easy to think, oh, well, the team that she has now, or the leaders that she has now, are the leaders that she's always had. Or that's she just got there because she signed amazing people. What is something that you had to learn about this topic? Like, because everybody goes through the point, like the reason we're having this Zoom, you guys, just so you know, it's not us talking down to you. It's us saying, we've been in a point where we said our team wasn't working. We've been at a point where we blamed our lack of success on everybody else. And then when we did have success, what did we do? We took the credit. And I'm so guilty of this. I've done this before. And so we are coming to you from a place of, we've been there, but don't make the same mistake. Okay. So what did you learn, and how did you learn that, Nicole?
Well, okay, my like number one thing that I need everyone to understand, and this will carry you through this whole business, is that there's 52 cards in a deck and only 4 aces. And it's going like there's 52 cards in a deck and there's only 4 aces, guys. Like, you are going to enroll people that don't have the same drive as you. That's okay. That's what makes the world the world. We're not all the same. Like, I was a dental hygienist. My mom's like, how do you even touch people's teeth? That's disgusting. That's what makes the world the world. Like, everyone is different. Some people don't have the self-discipline or the drive enough to do something like this. What we do, it is different. It's different. And not everyone has that drive, and that's okay. But you just have to realize that, well, sometimes it's not your fault, but sometimes it is your fault. And that's what I think we really need to grasp, because if you are pouring into your team and you're casting vision and you are excited and you know where you're going and you know where your team is going, they're going to go with you. Of course, you're going to have some people who hop off the train and they're whatever, they can't keep up, and that's okay. But if you are not showing up, then that's where you have to realize a difference. I'm not going to get into all of that, but make sure you're showing up for your team. Make sure you are doing what you expect them to do. If you're telling them to post on their story every day and you're not, then like, no, that's stupid. So you just have to realize that if you are doing what you need to be doing, then it's okay that people are going to fall off, because that's on them, but that's not on you, and you cannot drag yourself down. So when I went diamond, I had literally one person working on my team. Shout out to Amber, she's probably on this. Amber and I worked at the dental office together. She was like probably my first distributor, and it was just her and I, and there was no one that was going to get, she put a little hand on, there was no one that was going to get in my way, even if I didn't have Amber. Like, I would have done it on my own. And when you guys realize that a promotion is your promotion, that's when you'll start kicking in harder. So you can never think, okay, if for me to go diamond, my emerald needs to have 5,000 and my ruby needs to have 2,000. So like, honestly, all I got to do is like my top line, because they should handle, like, that's when you're going to find yourself just spinning your wheels and not going anywhere. If you want a promotion, you need to think in your head, I need 10,000, 8,000, whatever you want to think about. I need to get 8,000. And if Amber got an LC, I was like, cool, added bonus. So you just really have to determine what you want. And think about it. If you got a job at like Target and you started off as a cashier, but like there's no one else that can get your promotion for you. You have to do the work. Like if Sally next to you is working harder than you, she's not going to get a promotion for you. And that's how you have to think about it. Stop thinking about people that are under you owe you anything. They don't owe you anything. You are all here trying to get the same goal. Everyone wants diamond. Once you go diamond, you want even more. But diamond is the license to print money. And you need to stop thinking of people as your downline being your downline. Like, you can talk down to them because they're under you. That's not how it works. So just know that whatever promotion you're looking for, it doesn't matter if it's ruby, emerald, diamond, double, you have to focus on what you need, because that's your paycheck. And it doesn't matter if you roll 52 and you find only 2 aces. You have 2 people that are just adding, they're just added bonuses. Like, you just have to realize that it's you and you got this. And once you really get that, then you'll start seeing the big things. And then you'll start seeing really excited people who then do it for themselves. And then it's just like fun.
Yeah. And I'm going to take that Target. I love that Target example one step further. I mean, I love Target, but that example was really good too. But here's the thing. You get hired on at Target. If your car breaks down and you still need to get to Target, who's responsible for that? Who's responsible for getting you to Target? Is it Target's fault that your car broke down and you're not getting yourself to Target? No, because guess what? You'll still find a way. You're still going to find a way. If your alarm didn't go off because your phone's broken and you got to work late, is Target going to blame it on Apple? No, they ain't. Or Samsung, but we ain't talking to y'all. No, I'm just kidding. But the thing that you guys have to realize is, like, if you are looking for something to blame, you'll find it. If you're looking for a reason to get it done, you're going to find that. You're going to find it. But which one are you focusing on? Because so many people come into this business and they're hoping it works out. And I'm going to tell you, hope will not get you anywhere. Just hoping it's going to work out until you have said, I am going to make this work out. I am going to do whatever it takes to make this work out. Okay. And when you decide to do that, something shifts, because it's really you going all in. And what does going all in? How do you know if you're all in? You know you're all in when you're doing every part of what it takes, not just part of what it takes. You're doing all the things, not just some of the things. Okay. And let me say this, because we're not perfect. So we don't all do all the things all the time. And please don't look at me up here in this hot mess of myself and be like, oh, this girl does every single thing that she's supposed to do on her 6 list every single day. Because y'all, I'm going to tell you more times than not, some stuff just doesn't get done. But here's the thing that I also want to tell you is that 2 things that nobody can ever take away from me are my excitement and my passion. Find them. And what I mean, and when I say that, it does not mean go look under a rug. It does not mean read a self-development book. It means doing the work will bring you the excitement. seeing the results of the products will bring you the excitement, will bring you the passion. Okay. It's not going and reading a book or listening to somebody else's video or watching one of these videos, if I'm just being completely blunt. Because the chances of any of you guys applying this are how often? How many times have you hopped on a Zoom? Type it 2 in the comments. You've hopped on a Zoom and thought, dang, that was a really good Zoom, but not changed one thing in your business. Not one freaking thing. Okay, Shay, let's go to you. Tell me what this lesson, how you learned this lesson. What does that look like in your business?
So, I think a lot of times we look at
First off, can we just everybody just write a 3 in the comments for Shay's glow up right now? Her like freaking full makeup, great outfit. Like, look at this girl. She's
y'all. I'm wearing PJ pants.
Oh my god!
I mean, this game has been on for like 5 minutes, I think, and I'm like already hyped. But guys, I think a lot of times we look at top leaders and we don't see what it took to get there. We're like, oh, they're at the top, like they're perfect. Just like Kelsey said, they probably do their 6 list all the time. We ain't, and that's why we're here, and that's why we're talking to you about this, okay? Because we have had more struggles than you, and we've learned from them, and that's why we're here. And so, you know, I'm presidential. And you see that and you're like, oh my gosh, she's freaking presidential. Like, I want to be there. And it's like, there's a backstory. And the backstory is I had a massively quick start. Okay. I went diamond in 5 months. I was like, I'm a diamond. It's lit. This is great. I'm top 1%. Like, this is it. And then very quickly, I didn't grow and I didn't go to the next level and I didn't become what I needed to be a double. So for 10 months, I maintained executive and I struggled hard and I was not growing in ways I should have been. And I was telling my team to post on their story, but I wasn't, well, we didn't have stories, but you know, you catch the drift. I was telling them to do the things and I wasn't. And guys, that December, right before conference, so I'm about to back up Cammie again, right before conference, I made a $270 paycheck. Okay, yeah, that's great, but not when you've seen $2,000 every single month as a diamond. It's not great and it sucks, okay? So I went to conference and put my account $80 in negative, got my butt there, stayed in a random hotel that probably shouldn't be stayed in with my friend Carly. I would have slept in a bathtub to get there, but luckily I got to go, split McDonald's with her because we couldn't afford a meal, and went to conference and sat in the nosebleeds. And I looked down at that stage and I was like, I will be on that stage and I don't care who or what or when is in my way. Like, I will get down there and I will do all these great big things that these people are sitting on the stage and doing. I'm getting hyped. And so I sat up there and guys, the next year, I was not, oh, Nicole's holding up her lit sign. It's lit in here. The next year, I wasn't only triple. I wasn't only on the stage. I wasn't only sitting on the white couch, but I was presidential. And I was number 41, okay? So when it comes to the fact of the matter was I lost rank and it sucked. But that next month, I maintained Ruby for the first time. I went to conference and was broker than a joke with not even $80 in my account to even get home. So if I needed to eat, tough luck. I maintained diamond. Next month, I went double diamond. So within 3 months, it went from $274 to over $5,000. 3 months later, I went triple, and 3 months later, I went presidential. So within 8 months, just like Cammie had within 7 months, it went wild. Okay, it got wild, and that all came. And I literally wrote this quote down because I said it the other day and I was like, hey, that's pretty good. I'm going to write that down. It comes with a decision and a pair of running shoes. I decided I was not going to see an executive paycheck for an 11th month. And I decided that I didn't care that when I went double diamond, guys, I had 3 people on my team that enrolled anything. And the highest enrollments from someone else on my team was 5 customers, and it was greens on the go. Okay? I decided that I was going to make that happen, and I was going to do the things that I said that I was going to do. All those times we say we're going to promote, I was like, I'm tired of shouting out double diamond for the 10th month. Like, on the 11th month, let's just do it. Okay? Let's mess around and just do it, Cheyenne. And I did it. And I enrolled over 80 customers that month because I got my own results. I found the fire. She just said that, and when she said that, I was like, yes, like I found my passion, not from retracting, not from closing my doors to working the business, not from pointing out all the things I couldn't control, not from saying, oh, my team's not working, but saying like, I work. That's what matters is I'm working. I want this. This is my passion. This is my dream. I'm doing it. So I got to work, and it happened, and it cultivated this vision because I gained respect from my team, and I gained an integrity that comes along with me saying, I'm going to do the things even if they're not. And some of you are instilling your belief and your goals and your future and your dreams in the hands of someone else. If you can sit there and say, well, you know what? I just can't promote because my team's not working. Why are you letting them dictate where you're going? Why should they have any control on where you're going? Kelsey, when she decided she was going to make this business happen and promote to Diamond in like 2.2 seconds, and now she's ambassador, do you think that anyone that ever said, I'm not doing this with you, stopped her from getting where she was going? No. Because she posted a video with her daughter and said, hey, mommy's going to be ambassador one day. She knew. And that's the thing that you should have. You should know in your heart that it doesn't matter if Becky Sue was supposed to be your presidential to your ambassador. Because I can tell you right now, she's probably not going to be. And the people that I thought were on my ambassador chart in April are not going to be on my ambassador chart in January. And that's because I decided what I want, and I don't care. There's not a single person getting in the way of that because I believe in myself. I have the passion for it. And I figured out that this business is life-changing if you allow it just to make that decision and put on some running shoes.
It's so good. It's so good. And one thing I want to point out, and you just kind of touched on it, but I want to emphasize this, is because we can sit up here and we can tell you stories and you're going to be like, wow, this is great, right? Like, it's like a before and after picture. It's great. But like, what I also want to share with you is, even though Sheyenne is sharing this story and she's so, and her story is so amazing, a big piece of Sheyenne also is frustrated with her own business right now. Kelsey is also frustrated with her own business. Nicole might also be frustrated with her own business. And I say this to connect with you guys on a deeper level, because it's so easy for us to say, oh my gosh, yeah, I went ambassador. Cool. Well, do you think that I'm happy with my current paycheck? I'm just going to tell you that I ain't. And what I'm going to tell you is, even though Sheyenne hit presidential, you want to know what is bigger for Sheyenne right now? The fact that she's not ambassador. Okay. Because any leader, any person who has that motivation or that desire, whatever God put on their heart, like, it's until you get it done, until you do the things that you said you were going to do, like, you're not really looking at that. I was just on a Zoom and Jared was on it, and he said, what did he say? He said, you're always one person away from a massive explosion happening in your business. And so often we get so caught up in our rank, we get so caught up in our volume. And he said, it's so temporary. Volume, whether up or down, is temporary. It's temporary. It's there 1 month, and guess what happens on the first of every month? Everybody in the club getting zeros, okay? Everybody. I just made that up. Just go with it. It's fine. So anyways, but I think it's so important that, like, we have to realize that we can't get to our destiny. He said this too. We can't get to our destiny by holding on to our history, good or bad. Good or bad. If you want to sit here and just put your trophies out and be like, yep, I got to Prez, I got to Diamond, I got to whatever, because I did that. I sat at Triple, you guys, for 18 months. I said, until I decided Triple wasn't good enough for me anymore. And until you decide that the life that you have, whatever situation you're in, is crap, it's done. You're done with it. Like, you are sick and freaking tired. And I don't say sick and tired like, oh yeah, I'm sick and tired of that. Like, I'm sick and tired of that girl, but I still hang out with her anyways. I'm sick and tired of my paycheck, but I still go get it anyways. No, I'm talking about sick and tired, fed up, kicking the ground. You went and you called 700 people and told them, like, it's about to be lit. Like, that type of sick and tired, like, that's when things change. Okay. But I will tell you, if you want confidence, because a lot of you guys I hear is, I'm not confident enough. Like, I don't know if I have what it takes. The only way you gain confidence is to do the things you told yourself you were going to do. Anybody else told you to do, but what you told yourself you were going to do. So if you want to build that self-esteem, if you want to do that, you have to earn it for yourself. That's why it's called self-esteem. We give other people esteem for what they've done, but we get our own self-esteem from what we told ourselves we were going to do and what we followed through with. Okay. Morgan, that was so good, Sheyenne. Morgan, where are you at, homie? Where are you at, girl? Hello?
She's waving so hard.
Wait, is she unmuted?
Yeah, can you
Oh,
hear
hi.
me?
Hi. Yeah, I can see you now. Maybe your internet went out because you're moving too fast. So anyways, I wanted to get your perspective on all of this, just from hearing everybody else talk. I'm sure you had some things that popped up. Is there anything that you want to speak to on your heart on the subject?
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like we all can relate to everything that everybody else has said already, because it's like we all go through the same stuff. And like, I think so often when we're in the middle of it, we think we're the only one. We're like, I'm the only one whose volume is going down. I'm the only one who's, has people quitting on their team. And like all these other people just look like their team is rocking it out. Okay, but people would say the same thing about you because you're basing that opinion off of their social media. And of course their social media looks great. We don't post, somebody just left my team today who wants to join and take their place. Like, we don't say that stuff. So of course it seems like people are like killing it and rocking out their business. And it's funny because I'll start comparing myself thinking that I'm the only one, and I still do this. And then I get on the phone with Kelsey or Shay and they're like, yeah, this is going on in my business. And I'm like, whoa, like I was still comparing myself to you. Like, thinking that I was going through this and nobody else was. And like, I was like, that's good to hear that I'm not the only one. That's good to hear I'm not alone. And you have to remember that that's always the case, that there's never a time in your business where you're the only one going through stuff. And so I wrote some different notes down as people were talking, like whenever you're talking about, like whenever you have that passion and that excitement, like that's what people can't take away from you. And you don't get it from a Zoom. You get it temporarily from a Zoom because it's emotions and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so hyped. But that's because you feel that way because it feels good to be on a Zoom and get filled up. And then what happens tomorrow morning when you get a text message that you don't want and you're like, oh, I don't feel good anymore. So like my excitement and my passion's gone. Like you have to find that from deep within yourself. And like Kelsey said, that comes from doing the work, because the days I don't feel like doing the work and I don't feel like leading my team, I don't feel like sending out messages, and I don't feel like going and, helping and doing Zooms or whatever it may be that day, I do it anyways. And then I end up thinking like, oh my gosh, like that felt so good. I'm so glad that I did that anyways. And a lot of times we sit here and we like make so many excuses for ourselves and reasons why we think that, hey Brian, and reasons why we what's up? Reasons why we think that we can't do stuff because we're waiting for like the perfect moment and the perfect time and the perfect feelings and everything to be set up perfectly, and then we're gonna promote. It's never gonna happen. You have to just dig deep anyway and that why within yourself and the reason why you need this business and why you need it to work for you, and get to work and do it anyways, because that feeling is not going to be there. Mike Patilla says this all the time. I know he's not the one that originally said it, but I don't know who did. He said, don't like do the things that you don't want to do anyways, and the feelings will follow. Don't do it just because you don't feel like it. Do it anyways, and the feeling follows. The other thing I was going to say too is, whenever you're talking about, like somebody said, the leaders that got me here are not the leaders that are going to get me there. Craig Rochelle talks about this in his leadership podcast. He said, date the model and marry the mission. So the model is not, or the mission's going to stay the same. So you're going to marry the mission. You're going to this goal of ambassador, this goal of diamond, this goal of being a top income earner, this goal of being on stage, like Shay said, that's your mission. That does not change. How you get there and who you get there with will change. So date the model and marry the mission. So you don't always have to say like, okay, well, I'm going to get there by doing, in-person events. Like maybe that will change, or I'm going to get there because this person's going to be my triple. You have to be willing to let that stuff go, because maybe that person's not acting like a triple diamond anymore. And now you want it more for them than they want it for themselves. And you're so frustrated because they're not working when they don't want this anyway. So you're letting that situation frustrate you when there's nothing you can do or say to make them want this. And now instead of looking at all the people that you do have, and this person who may have just joined 2 weeks ago is acting more like a triple diamond than this person over here, but you're letting this person go off to the wayside because they're just a 400 box, and this triple diamond over here, you're so dead set on them being who promotes with you that you miss it completely. And you're not building up new leaders anymore. You're not having new rising leaders because you're so focused on taking the old freaking people with you. The people that were on my triple chart are not the same people that were on my presidential chart. The people that I went presidential with are not the same people I'm going to go ambassador with, because they're not the ones working the hardest. It doesn't matter who is what rank. Lifetime rank does not matter to me. It's the effort and the leadership and the passion that you show on a daily basis. That is what I look for. And if you're not looking for that and you're just like, well, it has to be this person, it has to be this person, I want you to ask yourself why. Why does it have to be them? What have they done or shown you that still makes you care that deeply about it? Is it because you know that they need this? And you just want this so badly because you know that their family could really use this income? If they really felt the same way, then they would do the work that it took to get there. But if they're not, that's not your position. And I know as a leader, like, we want this so badly for other people, especially if you're yellow. You just have this like, oh my gosh, I want to help everybody. You have to let that go. And at some point, you've got to step up and differentiate the difference between a friend and a leader. And you have to be both. But at some point, you have to choose leadership over that friendship and say, I love you as a friend, and whenever you're ready, I'm here. But I will not drag you along. I refuse, because then that's putting unwanted pressure on them. Maybe they don't want Triple Diamond and you want it so badly for them. And now this relationship is strained anyways. You're trying so hard to be their friend. And it's like strained because you're pulling them in a direction they don't want to go. I was not expecting to say any of that, so that wasn't what I wanted to talk about, but I just did, so it's fine. Okay, really quick.
Nicole's holding up the fire gift.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna look at your square the whole time.
I was making my lit sign darker, and I'm like, no, I think it needs this.
No, I love it. And I think too that people have to understand that you don't have to stop caring. You have to stop letting your feelings lead your business. It's never a good recipe for success, you guys. It's never a good recipe, because you can have feelings. Everybody should care. You should care about the people on your team. You should want that for them, right? But you can't let that lead your business, okay? You cannot let that be the determining factor, right? And what I also want to say real quick to touch on is she was saying passion, excitement, like we were talking about earlier. But people always ask me, like, how do I get that, right? You do the work. But people say, how long do I have to do the work before I feel that? You guys, it's not. Here's the thing. You feel it from the results. You get excitement and passion from results. People who lose a lot of weight, they become fitness enthusiasts because they see the results. They become passionate about a diet because they've seen the results from the diet. So you do it until you see the results. Okay? Stop quitting when you're at the bottom. I wrote this post the other day. It was like, do you remember the story of the person who quit? Yeah, me neither. Finish. Okay, finish. And here's the thing, is if that point, then you want to stop, then stop. But stop quitting just because it's hard. Stop quitting and stop feeling like, oh, I can blame it on this or I can blame it on that. Or I just don't have the passion. The passion is in the work you're afraid to do. The passion and the excitement is coming from the results that you're not doing because of the work you're not putting in. And then you're blaming it on a feeling of passion and a feeling of excitement. Okay. And you're saying, well, nobody's as excited. Okay. This is something else I wanted to touch on, and everybody can touch on this too, but people want to be like, oh, everybody that has joined me has quit. If you've had somebody who's joined your business and quit, please drop a 5 or whatever freaking number we're on. Okay. Please drop a 5 in the comments. If you've had somebody join and quit. Okay. Great. Nobody on here has ever had anybody quit. I'm just kidding. There's a lot of freaking 5s going. Okay. Now I want you to drop a 6 if you blamed yourself for it. If you thought it was your fault.
I think we might break this Zoom.
Okay. So here's the thing, you guys. This is something that I see happen all the time. Number one, like Nicole said, there are sometimes it's your fault and there's sometimes that it's not. But the question I want to ask you is, would you follow you as a leader? Would you follow you? Like, if you feel like, oh gosh, I really hope this business works out. Okay, I signed somebody. Oh God, what do I do? What do I do? Okay, well, now she's asking me, where do I find the products? Is she going to quit if I don't answer her? Like, you guys, here's the thing, is that you have to become, not be. Okay, there's a difference. You have to become, because who you are now is just this big of who you can become in this business. Okay. Stop determining where you set your goals based on how you see yourself. That is not how Jesus sees you. That is not where he sets his mission for you, is not based on where you are now. He sets his mission for you based on where he knows you can go. That's it. That's it. Okay. He doesn't see you for where you are now or all the mess ups you've had or where you're at. He sees you for what he's made you and called you into. So stop looking at yourself for where you're at now and start seeing yourself for where you can go. Cammie said it earlier. She's like, I saw this version of myself that I didn't even know existed, like in the people that I saw at conference. Right. But so often what happens is we internalize, our fears and we become them, and we start saying like, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And really, you don't really believe that. You just don't know if you are good enough. Like, you're like, I don't know if. Let me just go ahead and tell you something. I don't know if I'm good enough to be an ambassador diamond. Okay. I'm just going to be honest and 100% vulnerable, but I do know that this is where Jesus has called me. And so I'm going to do every single thing with 100% effort, because that's where I am right now. And if I want to get to the next level, why would anybody promote me to the next level if I'm not giving 100% at where I'm at now? And I think that you have to ask yourself, are you giving 100% at where you are at now? Because if you are a leader. If you are capable of leading other people to do 100% of where they are going to come. Okay. Nicole, do you have anything to add to this part?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I just did another Zoom, so you guys are going to hear this again for those of you that were on that. But what I feel like is such a downfall in this business, and anyone in this business, is that we as a generation, if you're like around like our age, we suck. Like, we all want instant gratification. We want to post once and we want to make $1 million, and we suck. Like, that's not how life happens, but that's how we grew up. Like, I don't know, like, I didn't have a cell phone until I was in high school. Kids like 5 years old. Like, the world changes. We suck as a generation, and everyone wants instant gratification. So you do something for a week and you don't make any money, and it's like, well, why would I do this for another week? Like, I need to quit. And you guys need to realize that what you're doing now is what's going to pay off come conference and everything else. And you need to just have faith in yourself that, like, you're going to work hard now and your paycheck's still going to suck next month, and it's okay, because it's not going to suck in a couple of months if you keep working and doing what you're doing now. But when you just are stuck in this bullshit and not doing anything, and you're just sitting there and you're like, I paid my bills last month, so like I could still put in the half-ass work that I did because my bills are paid, and like you're just settling, and we all want instant gratification. It doesn't happen like that. And when you realize that, again, because people are your downline doesn't mean that you're like above them and you get to dictate them. Like, you are yourself, and you need to just figure it out for yourself and stop thinking that because you put in work for 3 weeks that you deserve $5 million. Like, it's just crazy to me. So you guys just need to realize that what you do now is what's going to pay off. So if you're feeling like you're down right now in your business, just reflect on what you did 2 months ago, 3 months ago in the summer. Like, what were you doing? That kind of stuff. And just realize that, this is never going to be instant gratification. You're going to work really hard and you're going to get shitty paychecks, but that hard work over time is what's going to get you on stage at conferences, top 150. So stop giving up because you don't make all this money in your first couple of months, because what was it? Jocelyn Yates didn't go Ruby for like, I don't know, 9 months or something like that. Something crazy. Imagine if she gave up. Like, you guys just need to remember that it's not going to happen overnight, but every day putting in effort, that's what's going to happen. And you don't need anyone but yourself.
Yeah. I love that. I'm going to give you guys some numbers that Jared gave me on this last Zoom because they're so applicable. And for you greens, you're going to eat this up. Okay. And I'm not green, so I'm actually proud of myself for having numbers. Okay. So 2010, it works. 2010, it works. Somebody type these in the comments. 2010, it works, did 25 million global sales. 2011, it works, 45 million. Okay. 2010 is when Doug went to Mark and said, close doors. How long are you going to keep running this business off your own paycheck? Okay. We're not doing, like we're not profiting. Okay. 2011, 45 million. 2012, 200 million. 2013, 450 million. Let me ask, is anybody on here been in since 2013? Anybody? Okay, 2014, 500 million. Okay, let me pause. Back in 2010, it was 25 million. And now we're at 2014 and it was 500 million. What if you would have closed his doors? But the same question needs to be asked of what if you would have closed your doors? What if you close your doors right now? What if you close your doors right now? Okay, 2015, 697 million. Okay, and this is what I want you guys to realize. That would be like, actually, I'm really bad at math, so I'm not going to do that, but I can do this easy math. From 2011 to 2013, it was 45 million to 450 million. That's 10xing global sales in 2 years. Okay, but like Nicole said, we get so mad when we don't see our paychecks in 2 months, and we don't see our paychecks in 3 months. Okay, and so that'd be like, what would happen if your volume went from 4,500 to 45,000? What if your volume went from 45,000 to 450,000? Okay, does that mean that since these numbers are like this, does that mean that the whole year was like this? No. I'm sure January was here, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. I don't know where it was, but I'm going to tell you within the months, there was some zigzagging. Okay, but stop being afraid of that. Stop being afraid of the zigzags because it comes with the progress. Okay, that's just part of a business. This is not a job. If you want something that's stable, go get $11 an hour and never make more than that, because that's stable. That's stable. But if you want something that's profitable, that's a business, it's going to have highs and lows. Every single business does. Okay, but the thing is that that's the risk is that you're going to see incredible growth. That's the trade-off. Okay, and so I wanted to share that with you because I just think it's so funny how and Tony Robbins says this, and this is like one of my biggest things, is we overestimate what we can do in a year. Okay, we overestimate what we can do in a year, and like Nicole said, we're like we suck. So sometimes for us it's a month. Right? It's a month. We're like, I'm going from distributor to diamond, bruh. I'm about to hit this bonus. It's about to be lit. And then like halfway through the month, you're like, I'm not even executive yet. What is happening? Like, you're like, this business is broke. No, Joker, you're broke. Okay. But the other thing that you have to realize is that, that if we overestimate what can happen in that short period of time, and we underestimate what we can do in a long period of time. And he gives the example 1 year to 5 years. We overestimate what we can do in 1 year and we underestimate what we can do in 5. And I'm going to tell you from personal experience, that is true. That is true. I will tell you, I've overestimated what I can do in a year. And I look back and I think, dang, I didn't even have my business started 5 years ago. I haven't even been in this business 5 years ago. And now, like I get pissed at a certain number of paychecks that I would have been licking the ground to have 5 years ago. Straight up. I'm just going to be honest. I'm eating my own piece of humble pie. So all of you guys that are complaining about the downturns in your business, I want to ask you, like, would you be licking the ground 3 years ago when you started for that paycheck that you're griping about now? And yes, it is hard when you've seen bigger paychecks, but you also know, and this is exactly what Morgan said before, is because she's done it before, she knows that the feelings will follow. But if you guys have never done it, so many of you are stuck in this land of I've never done it. I've never given it my all. I've never gone all in. So I don't know, but you're saying to yourself, it's easier if I just don't do it, because then I don't fail, because then I don't know, because then I don't. But what happens is that for those of you guys who just go all in, for those of you guys who push and you get results, then when it goes down, you know you can get results again. when things mess up, life happens. Nicole had life happen, you know, her, was it your aunt or your grandma? Your grandma got sick, and then your dad, and then it was like bam, 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 bam. But you know what? If her business went down or her business went up, she knew she's done it before. She can do it again. Same thing with me, same thing with Morgan, same thing with Shay, same thing with Cammie. And so we're here to encourage you guys that, like, if we can do it, there's nothing that God put inside of any of us that he didn't put inside of you. Okay, I'm going to open it up for any of you 4 people to talk and say something, because I want to make sure that you guys get to speak your heart.
I was going to add this earlier when you were talking about, would you follow you? And I heard this on a podcast the other day, and they said, like, when people join you, they said yes to follow you. They trusted you. They trust your judgment. They trusted your passion, your excitement, your goals, where you were going. They trusted you. They didn't say yes for you to follow them. Where you're going and what you're doing as a team isn't up to them. It's not where they're going. It's where you are going. And yes, we're doing this as a team, but without your vision, your team they're not growing. They don't believe in themselves because you don't believe in you. And so when they said yes to follow you, some of you are putting your faith of where you're going in those people because you're saying yes to following them. And that's not how it goes. Just like she said, like, I don't remember who said this actually now, but like, when you're the captain of your ship, you're not just that person that's at the front. You're that person that said, I'm doing this. I'm going here. I'm going Ambassador Diamond. Like, come with me or don't come with me. But like, I'm going because my people follow me because they said yes to me. So some of y'all need to think about that. Did they say yes to follow you, or are you following them right now because you're putting all of your faith of where you're going in other people that don't see where you're going yet because you're not leading it?
Yeah, I want to touch on that really fast. And guys, I was scrolling through looking at all of you guys that have your videos on. And there's a lot of young girls that are on here, okay? And so a lot of things that we can take away from this that we all have in common, but I think one of the biggest ones is how many, or like drop a 7 in the chat if you are going to school, or if you're going, or if you're working full time. Drop an 8 if you're doing both. Because I was doing both, and I went triple diamond in 7 months. Okay, I was taking 16 hours online, and I was working full-time labor and delivery. And so I want you guys to know that you have to have that no excuse attitude. And you can do it as a young teen. You can do it with all the odds against you. I had my grandpa pass away during that time. I had all sorts of things that were going wrong. The 20th of the month that we went triple, I called Kelsey, the first time ever in my life that I thought I couldn't do something. And I said, just tell me I can do it. And I broke down crying because I was so strong for my team, but my world was literally falling apart, okay? I was in the highest high of my business, but I was in the lowest low of my life, okay? So it is worth it. Keep going, keep pushing, do what you gotta take, put your goals first. I lost friends. I lost people that truly did love me, that weren't there for me, but guess what? I gained a lot more because I gained people that saw the vision, saw who I was, loved me for me, motivated me, drove me, and made me just an overall better person. I am a better person. I am not the best version of myself yet, but I am a better version than I was in 2018. Okay, write this down really fast, guys. Success comes from your leadership 100%. If your team is not working, or you feel like your team's not working, or your team's not there, where are you at? Okay, so if you were 100% coachable, you would be seeing success. Okay? If you were coachable, you would be seeing success. If you are sitting in that mindset of, my team's not working, this isn't working, I can't get there, any excuse at all in your mindset, you will not get there. Spoiler, you will not get there because you already told yourself you won't. You got to be your biggest fan. Do you think I had people sitting on the sidelines telling me I could go triple that fast? Or that my team could go triple that fast? Hell no. I had everybody against me. I had people making posts about me on social media. I had friends tweeting about me when last week we were best friends, all sorts of things. I was my biggest fan, and I told myself what I wanted and that I deserved it. And I knew that my team deserved to be there. So if you were 100% coachable, you would be seeing success. Every time Kelsey called me and said, hey, I was like, okay, I hear you. it's your job to take the advice that you are given, but you also have to be open to that advice. If you're not open,
here's a sign. Let me just interrupt you because I'm gonna brag on you for a second. First off, when I met Cammie, I was like, dang, she talks a lot more than she normally does. Because every time I called her, do you know what she wasn't doing? She wasn't talking. She was listening. And so when your upline calls you, are you giving them all these reasons why it's not working? Are you listening to why it can and what you need to do to make it happen? Let me repeat that. Are you listening to why it can and how you do it? Or are you telling them all the reasons that you can't? Okay, and that will give you a very good indication. Nicole, I can't with you, seriously. Oh my God. I wish
Nicole,
every time if we were like really out, every time you do that, everybody take a drink, right? Every time the fire, they take a drink.
Nicole, you need to tell your I'm awesome story. It's so simple, but it's so good. Like, you got to tell it.
Oh, you're muted. Hold on, let me unmute you.
Am I up and I telling it?
Yeah.
All right, so this is just like, I just want everyone to get out of like okay, you are great. And you have to understand that you are great, and that just because you love yourself and you think you're great doesn't mean you're like bragging or like, you know, you're tooting your own horn. Like, no, you're proud of who you are. So I tried out for Survivor when I was like a freshman in college, and I have no idea why, because I easily would have died like in an hour. Like, so bad. I never even watched Survivor, so I don't know what I was thinking. I just thought it was cool. But anyways, the news came and watched everyone who was interviewed, or I guess who was being interviewed to be on, and they came up to me and they were like, do you want to talk on the camera? And I'm like, duh. So I don't know what I had in my hands, but I had like two things in my hands, and they were like, this is how stupid I was. They were like, if you could bring one thing to the island, what would you bring? And I was like, a digital camera. And they're like, no, like that's your answer. So that's like how stupid I was. But they go, why do you think you should be picked for Survivor? And I don't know what was in my hands, but I literally tossed it in the air and I was like, because I'm awesome. And then I just straight faced, like, stared at the camera. And I worked at like a really small, I'm from a really small town, and I worked at like the one IGA grocery store in the town. And for years, people would be like, oh, you're awesome. And like, I'd be walking in the mall and people would be like, you're awesome. And I'm just like, I just want everyone to understand that it's okay to be super confident. Like, I'm fucking awesome. And you just have to embrace that. And that's when you'll start seeing, like, that's what self-development is. When you start realizing that you're awesome, although I have stuff to work on and we all have stuff to work on, you're still awesome. And like, it was like so funny, and still to this day, like, people talk about it, and I just was like, and I stared at them, and that's just me. So don't ever feel like you have to like say, oh, not to brag or something. You're like, no, brag about yourself. You're fucking awesome.
Dude, that is so good. First of all, I need to see the tape. So we need to get that on YouTube and send out to everyone immediately. So that is so good. That's so good. I love that. I love that story. But it is true, you guys. Like, like I said, you're gonna find whatever you focus on. So if you focus on things that are wrong with yourself, like, you're gonna find them. If you focus on things that are good, you're gonna find them. And I think that that's exactly what you have to say is what are you putting out to people when you think of yourself? If you think somebody asks you, why should you go ambassador? Because I'm awesome. Like, that's what you need to say. Like, that's literally what you need to say. But what are you saying about yourself? Are you starting to talk about all the things that you're not the best at, or that you can't do, or that whatever? Because at the end of the day, like, that is what people are going to see in you, is what you see in yourself.
Wait, I have to jump in.
Yes.
Ashley, I actually remember that because we didn't grow up far from each other. You actually remember me being on the news saying I'm awesome and throwing what was ever in my hand? Because that's lit.
Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. What's happening?
Okay, sorry. I'm done interrupting, but that was pretty cool to read.
I don't know what's happening right now.
Oh, wait, I thought that was going to be Nicole's video.
I was sitting here, I was like,
I honestly thought it for a second.
I thought we were about to see it. I was so excited.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay, do any of you guys have any? Morgan, do you want to finish out with anything?
I mean, I had a lot of things to say, but y'all pretty much covered it all. I think the biggest thing is like you have to remember that you don't lead by your words, you lead by your actions. And a lot of times like we want to lead with our words and like tell our team, like Shay said earlier, tell them what to do and like say like we're gonna do all this stuff. But if you're not doing the things that need to be done, then you're not going to have the new blood that's in your team. You're not going to have those new leaders to bring, to get you to the next rank and to help people who actually do want this. And so I think that it all boils down to just doing the things that need to be done. And if you're somebody on here who you're like, I feel like a lot of this is I don't even have a team at all, put a 1 in the chat because I don't even know what number we're on, so just do a 1. If you're like, okay, I feel like I don't really have a team at all. Like there's literally no one on my team working. So I feel like it's hard for me to find even one leader to work with. Okay, so what I want you to do is if those people are not working with you, I want you to let your actions speak for you. And I want you to let silence be the killer because sometimes people are so dependent on you because you've taught them to do that. You've taught them that if they don't do anything, you're just going to be there for them. If they don't do anything and they're not commissions qualified, then you're going to be the crutch that gets them commissions qualified. You're going to be their savior that swoops in at the last minute and makes sure that they hit diamond because you're just going to do it for them. And I know that it's a really hard place to be in where you're like, well, what does that mean for me? What are the implications that means for me if I don't help this person? I guarantee when you stop talking to that person and you start enrolling new people, because guess what? You're going to have a lot more time to start enrolling new people who are going to want this with you versus the ones that you're spending all your time talking to who don't care. You're going to be enrolling new people and you're going to be working with those people. And this person over here is going to be like, whoa, wait, why don't I hear from her anymore? Oh, she just promoted somebody new and they just went Ruby. Okay, like what am I doing? They're going to have that self-evaluation, but you have to give them that. You have to kind of help them grow by letting them go.
Mm-hmm.
I just came up with that. I don't really know where that came from, but you have to let them grow by letting them go. And I think that that's something that I've had to work on myself in the last like even couple of months. And that release is going to allow them room to become their own leader and to step up, because sometimes we can just like either have these expectations for this person who never wanted to be in that position anyways. Maybe you just needed a diamond so that you could promote, or maybe you just needed a ruby. So you put all these people underneath them and expected them to be this ruby or this diamond. And they never asked for that. They never worked for any of it, but you expect them to act like the other ruby that you had on your team who did put the work in. And they're like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm doing. Like they have no leadership. They didn't enroll them. They have no ties to those people, but then they have this whole team underneath them. And you just put that pressure on them to be and do things a certain way. And they don't because they're not ready for that. So I really want to challenge y'all to find the people on your team who want this, even if it's just one, and work with that person. If you don't have any, your next job is to go and find people who do. So you should be posting your story every single day a different way. Find those people who want this because they're out there. And I love what Kelsey said about like, don't worry about like the months up and down. Like at the end of the day, our business is growing every single year if we're making the choice to do that. And if you feel like your business hasn't grown this year, it's time to do some self-evaluation and figure out why that is. And it's not because of your team, it's because of you.
Yeah, I love that. And like she said, if you don't have anybody, you guys, what I want you to do is write a list of the types of people that you do want. Okay. You don't know if you're not getting what you want, it's because you don't know what you want. If you're just complaining about all the things that you don't want in a distributor, you don't want somebody who's lazy, you don't want that, you're going to keep getting people who are lazy. But if you start talking about what you do want and start becoming the person that you want to recruit on your team, that you want to sponsor on your team, you're going to get more of that. It's the reason it's called a back office. It's because it's behind you. It's stuff you can't control. Jared started talking today about a front office, and their front office is your calendar. Who are you recruiting? What are you doing? Where are you going? Okay. That's your front office. That's what needs to be in front of you at all times. It doesn't need to be behind you as your back office. That's stuff you can't control. Stop staying in your E-suite. Stop worrying about the numbers that you do or you don't have. It's done. Start focusing on what you're going to do today, what you're doing tomorrow, what you're doing next week, what you're doing 1 month from now to get to where you want to go. Okay. And so we are just so thankful for you guys hopping on and just being open to growth. I want to applaud all of you guys for even just being on here and spending, an hour plus of your time tonight with us crazy people. And I want to give a shout out to Cammie for just even coming up with the idea to host this. I just think this was needed in a bunch of different areas. And just for Shay and Nicole and Morgan for always bringing the fire as always. I'm so appreciative of your guys' time as well, and hope you know that I appreciate you guys being on here with us. So I love you guys. I just want to let you know I'm praying over every single one of your businesses, just for abundance. There's enough to go around, and we are here cheering you on. And I know that like 2020 is he's going to replace and just supply more increase than we could imagine in 2020. And I'm speaking that over all of our businesses. So I love you guys. Hope you have an awesome Monday night. Bye.